Alright, what's up guys? So these are all the Jujutsu Infinite Curse techniques and the Heavenly Restriction over there. So I've been playing this game for a couple days, and I think I have a pretty good opinion. I've seen a lot of these used in PVE and PvP, and I've used most of them myself. I haven't used all of them, but I've seen them used, so I think I have a pretty good opinion on this. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I don't want to waste your time. So first of all, we have Construction, this one right here. Now I'm sure all of you can guess where I'm putting this. Straight up trash. So I think this is widely the most agreed upon, most useless jutsu in the game. It's awful. It's pretty much unusable. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's just really bad. Now next verse, let's just go through the comments, is cloning. I'm gonna put it above construction because nothing's worse than construction, but cloning. So the clones are pretty ineffective and they die really easy, so there's not too many uses for them, and the moveset itself is just bland. There's not really a good use for it in PvE or PvP, so yeah, I wouldn't use it. It's pretty bad. Next up we have tool manipulation. So I thought tool manipulation would be good, but like just like seeing it, I thought it'd be cool. Like that what's her name? That girl with the hammer. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool, but also has just really limited combat abilities. Just kind of the same as all the other commons. They're just really underpowered compared to the rares and commons, that type of thing. They all kind of share the trash. So we're moving on from trash. There's nothing quite as bad as those. I think the devs really need to remake the commons, as they're like 70% of the score, but that's the commons. So moving on to the next tier, the D tier. So bottom of D tier we have Blazing Courage. Now Blazing Courage, it doesn't really have that many, like, it just kind of has combo extenders, so it's nothing really too special. Like, sure, it does more damage and has combo extenders than the trash tiers, but other than that, it doesn't really offer anything special, and it's in a higher level gameplay you never really see anyone with this. I mean, people move on to other things. It's just not good for anything. Next up, actually rare, we have Blood Manipulation. So this one is just kind of made crappy. Like its moves aren't really that flashy, so it's not even cool to use, and it just does really weak PvE damage. Like, it could be good for PvP, I guess, but PvE just does no damage. I think it needs to be very balanced. It's just not really good for where it's at. And then the best D tier we have. It's not. We're not at the end of D tier, but the best uncommon at least is Boogie Woogie. So this one, it's a good support. It's kind of like in the anime. Not too much damage, but it has good counters, a good support. Overall, like, I think it's fun to use, but it's just overshadowed by people using more aggressive techniques that like you can get caught up in a lot of AoE. This isn't really gonna do much for you. Then, speaking of AoE, we have Curse Speech. Now, Curse Speech, it does have great AoE, but it just does no damage. Like, I've never seen anybody actually like kill anything with this. I mean, obviously like lower pieces, but like players, like, it just doesn't do any damage. Again, good AoE, but just leaves a lot to be desired. And then our best D tier, Straw Doll. Now, just to be quite honest, I've only seen 2 people use this. Nobody uses this. It just has really low synergy with everything, and it has no utility. Like, it's just really bland. Yeah, I think it needs some revamp, but it's the best of the D tiers at least. So then we have Cryo. So this is the one I actually first got. I had Cryo and Blood Manipulation, and like, they're okay. Same thing with the D tiers. It just leaves a lot to be desired. Like, it's for PvE especially, it just doesn't have much synergy. Like, sure, it has like decent AoE. The first move is pretty good, but as far as like synergy with like things I'll get on later, it just overshadowed by a lot of them. So yeah, I think it'll get updated soon and just add more stuff onto it. But as it is right now, it's bottom of C tier. It's nothing too special. Now, Ratio. So Ratio is really good because it has pretty good damage. It just doesn't have any range. So, like, PvE wise, it's not that good, but for PvP, I've seen people use it, and it has really good burst damage. You can kind of melt with Ratio, but I wouldn't use it for farming or anything. I would just, this is kind of more of like a PvP. I wouldn't use it for anything other than PvP. So yeah, it's a good like C tier. Now I guess that's probably it for C tier. Let's go into B tier. So B tier, bottom B tier, Soul Manipulation. Now, Soul Manipulation, like, it's good, but you have to like stack up enough orbs for it to do any damage, and like that in itself, I mean, it does a lot of damage, but stacking up orbs, it can be costly, and it's not consistent. Like, you might like sometimes you could pull off crazy combos, but other times like just stacking with the orbs, it's not always guaranteed. So I'll put it at the bottom B tier. Like it's good, but it's just not guaranteed. It's not consistent. So yeah, hit or miss with this one. And now Judgment, kind of shocked you putting this here, to be honest, but right above Soul Manipulation. Now it has really good AoE, but and co-op, like you can hurt your team pretty badly. So this would be more of like a solo Jujutsu. Now this is a really good ratio or infinity substitute. Like if you have this, those are two good substitutes because they work better in team environments. Mainly this is just focused on like it has good stats, good AoE, good damage, but in a co-op setting it's just not that good. So if you're playing with friends, either I would use infinity or I would use ratio. But if you're solo, I guess you could use this. It's kind of up to you, kind of up to what you do. So that being said, though, I'm gonna put it at top of B. Now let's start into our A tier. So this is where it starts getting good. Okay, everything below this is kind of like man, it's okay, but A, we're starting to get into like the pro level. So bottom of A, we're gonna put Demon Vessel. So Demon Vessel, it has really good stat boosts, and especially with Switch gives you 25% more damage and everything, so it's really good for PVE. Now, its knockback is kind of like a pain. I know Cleave's really good. I've seen people use Cleave a lot, but yeah, the knockback does kind of make it less useful in that sense. But the domain is really good. I would just kind of use this for the domain and the extra 25% stat boost. Other than that, it's just kind of mid, but if you use it for those two, it's pretty effective, pretty good. Next, I'd put the Heavenly Restriction. So I know this one's kind of like out of whack. It doesn't really fit, but it does really good single target damage at least. Even though it does have kind of bad range, it does high single target damage. Yeah. So if you want to kind of balance it out, I'd pair it with like an AoE build. So yeah, just if you pair this with AoE, it makes a good synergy. It's high like single target damage. It's good for like strong bosses, and then AoE to finish off the weaker ones. So I would use this. I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's fun to use, especially. Next A, we got Hydrokinesis. So what this does is, sorry, can I move that there? So what this it has high damage and it debuffs. So the debuffs are pretty good. I like nothing to frown upon, and it does really good damage. I don't know why it's ranked lower in other tier lists I've watched, but it's really good for PvE. I could also see using this in PvP, but mainly it's PvE. The debuffs, yeah, I don't know. I only have good things to say about this. Like, I'd be happy if I got this in my first playthrough. It's pretty good. Start off. Now, at the top of A tier, maybe, I don't know. Let me see. No, not the top of A tier yet. We have Star Rage. So, just kind of like the same thing with Demon Vessel. It does have a lot of knockback on its moves, so that makes it less useful in boss fights, especially. You can't just chain combo, so kind of a pain in the butt. But if you're playing co-op or with teams, it has a really great domain for that. So for that reason, I'd put it at top of A tier, or second at top of A tier. Top of A tier goes to Volcano. And so with Volcano, you can already guess, like, it has great PvE because it has so much AoE. Like, it has a ton of damage and a ton of AoE, so what else could you want for PvE? This is probably the best PvE Jujutsu. The last three I have are good too, but they're more like PvP related, but they're still good PvE. But anyway, Volcano's probably like one of the best PvE. Pair this with like Heavenly Restriction, you're good. Like, that's a good solid duo. But yeah, I love Volcano. It's probably my favorite to use for PvE. Great to keep like large groups of enemies. Volcano, easy. Now, bottom of SSS plus tier, Cursed Queen. Now, its first move is really good, Jacob Ladder. It's really good, but everything else is kind of mid. Like, I would only use it for the first move. You know, the domain's okay, but the other the domain's good, don't get me wrong, but its other moves are just really average compared to like other special grade Jujutsus. But yeah, the first skill is amazing. Like, that's what puts it at S. But if it didn't have that move, probably like A or B. But that's what puts it at S. If its other moves kind of made it for that, like if they got buffed or got better, it'd probably be higher in SSS. But for that reason, it's just, yeah, it's bottom best. But yeah, that Jacob Ladder move is crazy, so use it for that. Next is Gamble Fever. So my favorite about this thing is you get the domain instantly, and it's a great domain. It has really long range AoE, which is great. And Like, what else? I don't know. It's just really good for PVE because it's long range and it's AoE. And especially in boss fights, you get to pop a domain instantly. It kind of gives you fighting chance. So, yeah, I think that just the instant domain dominance, I think it's great. So I'd use that. It's alright, it's good. It's got all good moves. And it's fun to use. So, yeah, that one's good there. And then last but not least, Gojo's Infinity, top of SSS plus. If you get this, like my little brother got this first. It's like one of his first jutsus. He does like honest like first or like within like 25 spins he got this, something crazy. Yeah, Limitless. It's best for PVE, best for PvP. It's amazing. If you use Hollow Purple and Red, you're probably your best damage options. I mean, he uses this in the tutorial. It's great. Those two moves are your best damage dealers though, for sure. It has really good versatility and it just has really great damage in AoE. So yeah, you could use this for PvP, PvE. Either one works. Yeah, I only have great things to say about this. Infinity is by far the best. I think they need to do a lot of balancing, especially maybe make the I don't want to say nerf the SSS plus, but definitely make like the DC trash tiers, make those actually playable, because right now it's just, as you can see, it's kind of just pay to win, like spin until you get something good, you know, like special grade or legendary. I think they should make the legendaries, buff the legendaries a little bit. Even the Volcano is great. The special grades I'll just kind of trump it. And like really buff the rares. Like the rares are so cool, but they're just so overshadowed by everything. Like I had a lot of fun using the rares. It's just they're not as flashy as the other ones are. But anyway, that concludes it for my tier list. Let me know if I did anything wrong or you disagree with anything in the hot comments. Definitely up to the updates and the developers is like up to their discretion. See what they do with this, but right now, as the game stands, the 12th of January, this is my tier list. I think it's pretty accurate. But yeah, let me know if you do anything different in the comments. Thank you for watching, if you watched all the way, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.